I was actually thinking in my head how to like BS my teacher, my college teacher, on how to get out of a homework, because by this time it was like the second or third day of class and we had a homework assignment that was due. And I didn't have it done. So I'm walking in the hallway and I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, what kind of BS excuse can I give my teacher that's gonna sound legit enough to where she's gonna grant me another day or two on the assignment? Yeah, it's crazy. I'm walking down the hall, thinking about it, not realizing that, I'd pass out, go to the hospital, wake up blind, and I'd never have to worry about turning in that homework again. Never. I never realized that. It's crazy, right? Crazy how life works in your favor at times. I was diagnosed as a diabetic from like the age of about 13, 14. I'm about to be 28 in a couple months, so that's just about half my life that I've had diabetes. We were immigrants, we weren't legal. We didn't have access to a lot of the resources that we should have had access to living in America. I wasn't able to reap the benefits of proper health coverage. Once the diabetes started getting worse, something started developing in the back of my eye and I was just unaware of it. But I started developing abnormal blood cells. If you guys are like familiar with Pac-Man, you know about Pac-Man? Mm-hmm. And how she eats the white balls? It bloop, 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 bloop. Mm-hmm. So this is Pac-Man, and this is gonna be symbolized as the blood in my eye. And let's say this is the white ball in the Pac-Man game. But in my life, this was my retina and my optic nerve. So this is what the blood cell basically did to my retina and my optic nerve after a while. My optic nerve was fully detached, and that happened in 2012. Like 2012 was just a crazy year for me. January 31st, my mother passed away. That's around the time where I would wake up. Sometimes I would have these things that the eye doctors call floaters and things like that. That's just like a little spot that might dash across your vein or something like that. I remember reading my mother's eulogy. I was getting little floaters to the point where I was reading it and the floater would kind of just pop up in the middle of a word. So there were certain times where I was reading my mom's eulogy where I kind of had to stop and like really look at it. And I'm pretty sure to everybody in the pews and that actually attended the funeral, they might have just thought like, I'm getting teary-eyed, or I just need a second to cry or mourn or something like that. But it really wasn't that. It was just the fact that the floaters were just like popping up and they were just, affecting me reading the eulogy from top to bottom. My mom was like, single parent, only child, that was my pride and rock, my best friend, things like that. So when I lost her, it definitely hit home. Like I said, later that year, I went blind. By the end of that year, that December, I became homeless. The homeless shelter lasted not even a year, to be honest. Probably just short, about a month or two of a year. It taught me how to be mature. It taught me how to be humble. It taught me how to be flexible, because in the shelter, nothing goes the way it's supposed to. Whether it be your caseworker supposed to be helping you on finding houses and they're just sitting down not doing nothing, just sitting collecting a check, or whether it's somebody shouldn't be taking a crap in the actual shower. Like, you need to take a dump, you go to the toilet, but people come in drunk and they come in high and this, that, and the third, and maybe all the toilets are filled up and they really gotta go. So the closest thing they can do is find a corner in the actual shower part. You know what I mean? Like, things don't go the way that they're supposed to go. So that taught me how to be flexible And then just being blind, not being able to see, I had to not only be flexible, but I had to be optimistic. I had to have that optimistic approach to understand, like, all right, I might not like how I'm being approached, but that person is going through something. You know what I mean? That person's been stuck in this shelter for 5 years, having a shitty caseworker, and you know, that caseworker not really looking or trying to find them housing, and that causes them to be stuck in the shelter, living a shelter life for 5 years. You know what I mean? I had to be optimistic, and I had to be flexible, and I had to start understanding, and not even just, because even if there just wasn't things that I couldn't understand myself, I had to realize that there's something going on that person's end. And it's not only about me and how I feel. Every time I like look back or go with blah, like that be my highlight. Like, shit, I ain't never had to turn in that homework paper at least. Winning.